Found out this morning she was cheating. My now ex and I have been dating for 3 years as of October 21st. Guess she wanted to celebrate our anniversary by cheating. Her and I lived together for about a year, and about 2 months before we were gonna renew our lease, she decided she wants to join the National Guard. Being her boyfriend, I supported her, of course. Unfortunately, that meant I had to quit my good paying job and move hours away. A little backstory. I moved away from my parents to be with this girl. Don't judge me. So I was on my own without her. I don't have much work experience and I didn't have my career figured out yet. Thankfully, I got a good paying job right after I moved there, so I was pretty comfortable knowing this job I got was not easy to come by. I was worried about moving and barely scraping by in a new area. Going back to the story, I decided to move back home and try long distance first. Well, really, second mistake. Caught her kinda flirting with her ex at one point. Like a fool, I believed it was nothing, so our lease ended. I moved home and she moved in with her parents. Fast forward 2 months. She's having problems with her family and I'm having trouble finding a good enough job that pays enough for me to visit her, but I'm hopeful again. I got the feeling she was cheating. Confronted her as any worried partner should, and it got dismissed. Third and final mistake. Lately, in the past month, she's been very distant with me, saying she was busy with her family and she hasn't been acting the same while talking to me. She says it's stress and this, that, and the third, and eventually it comes to us talking about breaking up or a break. I oppose not to a break. If we're breaking up, we're breaking up. We're adults. I didn't want to play this on or off game. We talked and decided to stay together, and she was gonna come visit me within the next week of this post. She had a military training to go to, which is fine. I didn't think anything about it. I sent her some Snapchats of our cat. It stays with me, and texted my good nights and happy sweet rainbows and unicorns, wishing her luck on her training. She read it. Didn't reply at about 9:30 p.m. I woke up this morning at about 5 a.m. and I see she replied to my Snapchat of some sort of fair or carnival sign, and it said she sent it at 12 a.m. Weird. Thought she went to bed. I got the gut feeling something was off, but I didn't want to snoop on her accounts. Eventually, I came to the point of where I needed to see what's going on. I signed into her Snapchat to find her sending videos and pictures to some guy and an address she told me was her recruiter's place. He lets people rent out for training. She's been talking to this guy for about a month, which adds up to why she was acting weird with me, talking to him before we even discussed breaking up, but that doesn't matter at this point, which brings us now to the present and me feeling like a fool and how I should have just trusted my gut the first time. She was every bit of loving to me up until the last couple weeks, so as I tell everyone she was unfaithful, it comes to a shock. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling what I'm feeling. Anger, sadness, hopeless, and everything else I could possibly feel. I texted her I saw what I saw, and that's all I said. She still hasn't replied, but part of me doesn't want her to. I don't want to hear her excuse or apologies, cause at the end of the day, there is no reason or excuse to cheat on your partner. Be an adult and handle it before it gets to that point. Another part of me is hoping she answers so I can see if she feels any regret or if she's not going to be fazed by it and brush it off like I'm nothing to her. I'm sorry for those who feel this, and just know it's never your fault. I'm not blaming myself for her doing what she did. Just disappointed that it happened. I don't talk to any other girls cause I'm not good with them, so I'm just gonna try to drown myself in making myself better and talk about my situation for my own sake. Thank you for reading this. I know it'll get better. Edit. It hasn't even been 24 hours and this is the worst pain I've felt. She still hasn't replied to me, but now I feel like I deserve some sort of closure. I've only been able to wonder why and how and what I did to deserve it, even though I know I didn't do anything to deserve it. I really want to just numb the pain, but if I do, she wins in the end. Yet I can't bring myself to do anything besides crying in bed. Man, this ducking sucks. If you ever think about cheating, don't. Know it causes the worst pain a person can feel, especially if you're just left like you never meant a thing to that person. Update. Can stress change her? Can stress completely change a person? My now ex-girlfriend has been under a ton of stress for the past 2 months. She cheated on me, hence now ex, but it's completely out of character for her. Not saying her cheating is justified, but she's acting like a person I've never met before. She was super sweet and loving. We never really argued or fought. We did a lot together and our relationship was overall really healthy. Of course we had our ups and downs just like anyone else, but still. She was very distant with me before I found out, and now she's completely cut me off, saying she would like to try again when she's in a better state of mind. She is open to doing therapy for her emotional issues. I don't know if it's worth trying again yet. I can't help but wonder if her stress that's layered on top of emotional issues is what made her act out this way. It's been about 2 weeks since I found out, but this is weighing on my mind real heavy. Is this a typical thing stress can do to someone? It's so bizarre to see her just completely 180. Edit, her brother and I are good friends and I told him to just keep an eye on her. I don't want her to hurt herself. He gave me word that she's been constantly drinking since I found out, and honestly it hurts me to hear that. Edit 2, I see everyone's side of the spectrum. I think I need to listen to you all. I wasn't trying to ask if stress was a causing factor. I mean if that can help push someone to do so. My partner has been through a lot of emotional trauma and I just want to help. You are 100% right about her needing to fix herself on her own. Part of me wants to leave her and the other part I think wants the challenge of fixing. I know you all could never see it from my eyes, but I do hear you all and I'm really taking your advice on this. I'd Kenny more. Nothing makes sense. Update, I found out she was cheating 3 weeks ago. I've posted about this here when I first found out, and right now I just want to relive what I had with her. I'm a 20 years old, found out my girlfriend of 3 years was cheating on me for the last month. It broke me as a person. I'm usually very enthusiastic and optimistic about everything, but seeing the messages she sent to the guy just broke me. I haven't felt like me since I found out, but I know this is typical. Her and I met in 11th grade math. The teacher sat us next to each other and assigned everyone to an after-school project in pairs. She came to my house and we worked on the project together and knew I had to have her. She's everything I want in a girl. She's so beautiful, she's smart, fun to be around. She isn't annoying or obsessed with social media, and best of all, she actually makes me laugh hard. I felt like she was perfect for me. Once we graduated high school, she moved to her hometown, which was states away, and I was willing to move as well. I moved away from my friends and family to be with her. We had our own apartment that we could barely afford at first, but we made it work. We struggled and had amazing memories together once we moved in. I shortly got a really good job that paid well and had tons of benefits. I was happy and I made sure she was too. We worked so well together. Just as COVID started, she got laid off and I was taking care of us until she got unemployment, and I was happy to take care of her. I loved her unconditionally and I truly felt she was going to be the person I was going to die next to. A couple months before we were going to renew our lease, she was still struggling to find work and decided she wanted to join the military. I supported her and I wanted her to do what she felt was best. It came time to renew our lease and she told me once she joins we're going to have to move 4 or 5 hours away from where we were at the time. I explained to her that I was very lucky to find the decent paying job I found, and that I know it was going to be even more difficult to find another one that pays enough to support myself or even the two of us if needed. Eventually I decided I can't risk my own well-being for her at the end of the day, so I moved back home. So now we're moving closer to the present. I moved home and she came to visit me and helped me move into my family's new house. Everyone loved having her around and enjoyed her. She stayed with us for a couple weeks before she had to go home and start getting ready for the military. That's when things started to get bad. She slowly started becoming shorter, less responsive, not showing me the affection she used to. I tried talking her about it, but she would tell me she's busy dealing with her family and training. I understood. She really was having a hard time in her family life at the time. It was only getting harder on her. I was focusing on getting my life started in a career that could eventually get us back to that point of being able to take care of our needs and living with each other again. One night I just had a gut feeling something was off and I signed into her social media, something I never really did, and there it was. My heart sank into my stomach and everything was getting blurry due to the tears swelling up in my eyes. I started shaking and crying. I never cry. I've lived a lifetime of pain and hardships in my 20 years, so it really takes a lot to get me to that point. It shattered me. I told her I knew she was cheating and she didn't answer me for 1-2 days. She told me everything and how she felt so bad about it and all this, but I knew why she felt that way. She got caught, but I couldn't bring myself to hate her. This girl was so perfect. She showed me love I've never felt from my own mom. She truly cared about me and was so genuine up until that point. We talked and I explained to her how I felt and what I wanted out of this situation. Ultimately, after trying to tell myself fuck that girl, she cheated, I don't need her, I still loved her and wanted her. Today we talked and I was excited to tell her once she finishes basic training I wanted her to visit me and try to talk this through in person, but she told me she didn't feel the same way about me anymore. She told me she has been struggling to care about anything in her life at this point. Knowing there was nothing more I could do, I decided letting go is the best option for myself. Right now I sit here broken. My best friend is gone. The person I trusted wholeheartedly isn't the person I fell in love with anymore. This is the worst pain I've ever felt and I feel like I don't have anyone to lean on through this. All I can do is cry by myself and hate that she did this to me. I sacrificed so much for her and did everything I could to make her know she was appreciated and important. I tried so hard just to fall flat on my face and hit the ground harder than I ever have. I've been reading a book called How to Win Friendships and Influence People, and it honestly has helped me come to terms with what she decided to do. I know it had nothing to do with me, it was all her and her alone. I don't hate her, I still love her. She is a good person, but she just showed me the worst side of herself. The book is teaching me how to try looking at things from other people's POV. Even though I'm hurt, the only way for me personally to move on is to forgive what she did. I hope everyone who reads this is willing to look at not only my situation but at yours as well with an open mind instead of a heart filled with hate and pain. At the end of the day, I did my part. I showed her love no one else has ever shown her before, and she admitted that to me. It was her past self coming back to the present and ruining what we had. It's her battle to fight on her own. Thanks if you read all this. I just wanted to vent how I feel right now because I don't have anyone else I can share my true feelings with. I'm not asking for anyone to message me or help me. I'm at such a low point right now I don't know what else to do. All I can do is go through the motions of a breakup and try my best to move on. Edit, I've taken your advice and blocked her everywhere I can. I realized keeping her contacts open was just me trying to justify a sense of hope that she would come back. I know eventually she will because of how f***ing awesome I am as a partner, but I can't allow myself to let her control it. I want to take control of my life and the way I feel. Thank you everyone who commented and helped me realize the errors I've been making. Update, when will I feel okay? It's only been a little over a month since I found out. It ended ugly, but the last thing I told her is that I'll always have room for her in my life. Since then I've cut all contact with her and I don't think what I said is true anymore. I feel like I have PTSD when I hear her name or think about a picture of her. I can't let her back in even though I miss what we had so badly. Every day is a struggle for me to just feel okay. I wake up missing her being beside me, missing texting her little stupid things to make her laugh. I thought she was my best friend, but that all ended when I read the texts and saw what she was sending him. At work all they play in the store is Christmas music about being with the one you love, and it's embarrassing as a man to feel like you need to tell your supervisors you need to go home because of how hard it is not to burst out in tears. I've never been cheated on before and this is hitting me harder than anything I've ever faced before. I'm so tired of struggling just to pretend to be happy. This is not who I am as a person. She broke me and I don't know how to pick the pieces back up. I know it'll take a lot of time, but I want to be okay now. I know cutting her out of my life is the only option I have to really heal, but I feel like I have so much to say to her. I know she won't listen and it'll be a waste of my time. I can't shake the feelings I have for her. I want these emotions to stop and I want to move on. I try to distract myself every moment I can, but once I get a second of free time it all comes back. I can't stop crying at times and it's humiliating. All my confidence is out the window. I'm literally sitting in my work bathroom crying as I type this because I can't get it off my mind and it's so painful and heavy I don't know what else to do. I just want to feel okay again. Update, intrusive thoughts are killing me. I posted about my story here. Since then I've blocked her on everything. Deleted all the pictures, got rid of all the gifts and things that I had that reminded me of her. I started going to the gym in January. I hang out with my friends as much as I can, basically trying to do whatever I need to not think about her anymore. I was going pretty good for a while. I've lost 30+ pounds, went and bought some nicer fitting clothes and a new haircut. But then I failed a test for a license I wanted and that shoved all my repressed emotions out. I've been stepping in and out of depressive episodes for the past few weeks. My D-Day was 130 plus days ago, but most days I think about her. I don't miss her, I think about how she could do it to me, how she can go around living like nothing happened. She lied to her dad about me, or at least tried to. I told him what happened and he told me she told him a different story. I think about how she acted like it was so easy to move on, like I never existed or mattered. I try to remind myself even if I did everything in our relationship perfect, nothing would have changed. But the thoughts creep back in and make me feel so inadequate as a person and as a partner. I'm a 21-year-old guy, so I know I still have a lot of time to move on and eventually find someone new, but these thoughts make my days and nights move so slowly. I hate to admit it, but I still break down crying at times and I feel so embarrassed by it. I wish I could just brush this off and go sleep around like she can. Instead, I'm here failing tests, working a dead-end job, feeling like I'm doing nothing right. I recently got hired at a new place and I'll be making more money, and I got enrolled to start community college in fall, so I'd have to quit my new job for school. That's beside the point though. I just want everyone to know I'm still trying to keep myself occupied and that I'm not giving up. It's just so hard for me to remember I'm not what she made me feel like I was. I can't afford therapy right now and my living situation is complicated, so I can't really get help paying for it. My rant is over. If anyone else is struggling still, I feel it too. People are so shitty, and this experience has really opened my eyes to how quickly life can be turned upside down and how powerful emotions can be. Update: she cheated back in October, haven't spoken since, and she texted me this morning. I don't know where else to go for this, but I've read through here enough to know not to respond. I know she's only texting me because her affair partner is gone or someone else did her wrong. Either way, I'm not answering. She's apologizing and saying all the "you deserve better" BLLS it. Honestly, without this sub I would have answered immediately. She's caused me too much pain to give her any time of day at this point. I hope all of you stay strong too. Edit: this is getting a lot more attention than I thought, so I just want to say for those who are experiencing this too, this is not easy. I'm not going to answer. That would completely disrespect every single person who upvoted and commented on this post, even those little jabs some of you guys want me to take at her. That's not me. Sorry to disappoint you guys. I wanted her to reach out for so long so I could feel like my feelings to her were somewhat valid, but the way she worded her apology just further proves how shitty of a person she is. Sorry I was going through this funk, hope you're okay. That's basically what she said. Made me feel like it once I realized how little my feelings actually matter. Like, really? After everything you caused me, that is the apology I get? I just felt you guys deserved my honest thoughts and reaction to it. I know it might help one person out there hoping their ex reaches out. Just remember, they can't hurt you if you don't let them. And I do want to block her, but again, if I'm being completely honest, I left her on read and I know it's gonna drive her insane. Maybe it won't, but it makes me feel good. I get a bit of revenge, if you could even call it that. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Everyone here deserves peace, and your ex reaching out might not give you what you may have hoped for if they're like mine. Good luck to you all. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, block her and she is right, you do deserve better. Redditor 2, I don't even know you but I'm proud of you. Those red flags weren't missed this time, they were illuminated and had klaxons attached to them. Well played, bro. Redditor 3, don't let her in emotionally. It will set you back. Keep her blocked and out of sight and mind as much as possible. Block her again if needed. I read your post history. I know you probably don't feel it, but you've made a ton of progress. Not only physically but emotionally. You're not done yet, but you're getting closer to the right frame of mind. Don't let her pull you back down. I know part of you wants to help her, but you can't. You have to save yourself from drowning before you save someone else. So keep focused on you and your recovery. She was right. You do deserve better. And so get that better you deserve by keeping her blocked and disconnected from your life. Op answer: at this point I don't want to help her, I just want to move on. I don't want to carry this baggage she forced onto me. Redditor 4, good man. Don't give her any of your attention or time. Stay strong and keep focusing on yourself and your own well-being.